Welcome to the fifth and final section of our module. Now, we will focus on how three specific countries, Italy, Romania, and Turkey, deal with misogynistic and sexist hate speech online through their national legal systems. We'll examine whether women are recognized and protected in law as a group, what mechanisms exist to address this type of speech, and where significant gaps remain. Let's begin with Italy, where there is a clear legal gap. There is no current criminal law that recognizes or penalizes hate speech against women as a group. Italy's Criminal Code Article 604 bis punishes incitement based on race, religion, ethnicity, or sexual orientation, not on sex or gender. As a result, many forms of misogynistic speech remain entirely outside the scope of criminal prosecution. There are some legal provisions that can be applied in specific cases, like defamation, threats, or incitement to commit a crime. Defamation, Article 595, threat, Article 612, and incitement to commit a crime, Article 414, apply only under strict conditions and do not cover generalized hate speech against women. These laws only apply when certain strict conditions are met, such as a direct threat to an individual or an identifiable target. When the hate speech is general and targets women as a group, none of these provisions are effective. This creates a serious gap, especially in online spaces where generalized misogyny is common. Let's consider some examples. Women should be banned from speaking in public, women on social media should disappear, or listening to women is a waste of time. These statements are clearly misogynistic, hostile, and degrading, but under current Italian law, they are not considered crimes. This highlights just how limited the protection is when it comes to online hate targeting women as a group. The European Directive 1385 of 2024 requires reform by 14 June 2027. Italy must add sex and gender as protected grounds and criminalize public incitement to hatred or violence against women, including posts, videos, and comments online. Now let's move to Romania, where the legal situation is more developed. Here, hate speech based on gender is already recognized in criminal law, and gender-based hatred is considered an aggravating circumstance. This means that misogynistic and sexist hate speech can already be prosecuted, including when it targets women as a group, not just individuals. Romania also has effective tools outside the criminal justice system. Two important public institutions can intervene in cases of misogynistic and sexist hate speech. The National Council for Combating Discrimination can intervene in cases of misogynistic and sexist hate speech online by public figures, influencers, journalists, or institutions. The National Audiovisual Council can sanction sexist messages on broadcast media and registered platforms. These institutions help close the gap where criminal law might not apply, and provide additional avenues for action. Like Italy, Romania must transpose the European Directive 1385 of 2024 by 14 June 2027. However, Romania already has much of the required legal framework in place. The real challenge here is not writing new laws, but making existing ones accessible and known. People need to understand how to use them, who to turn to, and how to support victims of online abuse effectively. Let's now look at Turkey, where there is no specific criminal protection against misogynistic hate speech. Turkish law penalizes hate speech based on ethnicity, religion, or race, but not gender. While there is a clause in the criminal code referring to denigration based on gender, it is vague, rarely applied, and lacks clear enforcement criteria. Misogynistic and sexist hate speech is widespread and largely tolerated. Online platforms are not legally required to remove such content, and the broadcast regulator has no authority over social media or user-generated content. This creates a significant gap in protection, where women are frequently subjected to abuse without any legal recourse. Turkey withdrew from the Istanbul Convention in 2021, and it is not a member of the European Union. This means Turkey is not bound by the European Directive 1385 of 2024, and there are no legal obligations at the international level for it to protect women from online hate speech. In this context, public education and social activism become even more critical. Let's now take a look at the comparison table, which summarizes the key differences between the three countries. Italy is currently undergoing legal change. Its current framework does not cover misogynistic hate speech, but reform is expected by 2027. Romania already has a legal structure in place, both criminal and administrative, but awareness and accessibility remain challenges. Turkey lacks legal protections, both nationally and through international frameworks. Rather than ranking these countries, this comparison helps us understand where the gaps are, and where efforts, whether legal, educational, or cultural, are most needed. So, what does all this mean for those working with young people? Legal knowledge is essential, but law alone is not enough. Often, education is our most powerful tool for prevention. Helping young people recognize hate speech, discuss it, and respond to it is part of our responsibility as educators. Where the law is silent, culture can still speak out. After completing this module, you can describe how Italy, Romania, and Turkey address misogynistic and sexist hate speech. You can identify whether and how their laws protect women and girls, including in online spaces. You can use this understanding to strengthen digital safety practice and gender-sensitive education in your settings. Now it's your turn. In the next activity, you'll explore real-world examples, reflect on national legal contexts, and practice how to respond to misogynistic and sexist hate speech online. Take this opportunity to apply what you've learned and strengthen your role as an informed and active youth educator. Ready? Let us begin.